Hey, what's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome into Fantasy Filmball, the show where we turn movies into sports and sports into something we don't talk about here. And today, we are bringing you our end-of-year awards. The Oscars happened almost a full month ago at this point, and I've spent the last two and a half weeks putting this video together. There's been some snags along the way, but finally, it is here for you. This is our final awards ceremony. Now, of course, Dylan and I are only two people here. We can't really do typical awards voting or find like an aggregate of both of our favorites. So instead, every single category that you will see here is all of our picks all together. So if there's 10 nominees in a category, that means we had 5 completely different films on our ballot. If there's 9, that means we shared 1 of them. And additionally, as a bit of a celebration of this last year on our channel, we went through all of the footage from the past year, all 35 hours worth of predictions and reactions and everything, and we found some of our favorite best and worst moments, and those are going to kind of be scattered throughout the video. So without further ado, please enjoy our favorite films of 2024. Javier Bardem, Dune Part 2. Yura Borisov, Anora.
Alright, let's go. Come on.
Я понимаю, что сейчас, наверное, не в тему будет, но мне кажется, было бы правильно, чтобы Иван извинился.
Austin Butler, Dune Part 2.
Chris Hemsworth, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
The question is, do you have it in you to make it epic?
Clarence Macklin, Sing Sing.
When we are born, we cry because we're born to a stage of fools.
Josh O'Connor, Challengers.
Imagine if you could turn Patrick Zweig into a guy who wins a slam. You still have a season. You still have one good season, and I need you to bring it out of me.
Guy Pearce, The Brutalist.
Residing here will allow you the time and the space to conceive of it properly. And your family, should they arrive, they're welcome here too.
Bill Skarsgård, Nosferatu.
Leave there your conveniences. Set out the deed and sit.
Jeremy Strong, The Apprentice.
American patriot and a friend. I know you're gonna go on to do a lot of things that would make me very proud.
Still here.
Clayton
Oh my
Davis.
God.
Let's go.
Clayton Davis is
Oh
the
my
king.
God.
He's the king.
Challengers, costumes by Jonathan Anderson.
A Complete Unknown, costumes by Ariane Phillips.
If you're traveling.
Dune Part 2, costumes by Jacqueline West.
Nosferatu, costumes by Linda Muir.
The Substance, costumes by Emmanuel Yankovsky.
Wicked, costumes by Paul Taswell. I feel really confident that of the films I talk about today, if you plug my top 10 in here, at this time next year, you'll probably have 5 or 6 of them right. Right now, my pick for Best Picture is The Apprentice.
Wicked just seems like it seems kind of good in the costume design category.
It's showy, but it's also really artificial. It's giving Cats. Well, I like Cats. I have a horror film in my top 10 now for Best Picture, but it's not Nosferatu. From directors that, honestly, are kind of too big to fail. Everyone is predicting Megalopolis to be a flop, and that's why I'm not predicting it to be a flop. Now, I have to give my argument for why Megalopolis is number one. Daughters will be our Oscar winner. I don't think anything else on my list is going to be nominated. My top 5 is rock solid. You have Ariana Grande at number 9 for Wicked. Explain yourself. Almost an undeniable People's Choice Award winner. Number 2, The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. If Sing Sing is overthrown, I think it's for this. Positivity and progression and acceptance are going to be the winner of this season. So I think that all of that hate, all of that negative controversy is going to lead to the Academy and Hollywood coalescing in support around Carla Sofia Gascon. Anora, screenplay by Sean Baker.
Challengers, screenplay by Justin Kowitsky. Late Night with the Devil, screenplay by Colin and Cameron Cares. Red Rooms, screenplay by Pascal Plante.
The Seed of the Sacred Fig, screenplay by Mohamed Rasulov.
September 5, screenplay by Moritz Bender, Tim Falbarn, and Alex David.
The Substance, screenplay by Coralie Farja. Universal Language, screenplay by Matthew Rankin, Peruz Nimari, and Ila Firuzabadi. The question I think on everybody's mind for The Life of Chuck, including yours, Dylan, this film has no distribution still. The concern that some people have of, oh, what if it's releasing next year? There's not one distributor in the world who would decide to release it next year.
Conclave, screenplay by Peter Strawn, based on the book by Robert Harris.
Dune Part 2, screenplay by Denis Villeneuve and John Spates, based on the novel Dune by Frank Herbert. Hitman, screenplay by Richard Linklater and Glenn Powell, based on the article by Skip Hollandsworth. Nickel Boys, screenplay by Ramel Ross and Jocelyn Barnes, based on the novel by Colson Whitehead. Nosferatu, screenplay by Robert Eggers, based on the screenplay by Henrik Galeen and the novel by Bram Stoker.
Sing Sing, screenplay and story by Clint Bentley and Greg Quaidar, story by Clarence Macklin and John Devine G. Whitfield.
Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, screenplay and story by Mark Burton, based on characters created by Nick Park.
The Wild Robot, screenplay by Chris Sanders, based on the book by Peter Brown. Speaking of another major contender, we have Joker Folia Duh.
Compelling argument for Joker, the fact that they're doing something new, something fresh. I'm hearing reports from test screenings that the film is phenomenal.
Don't doubt Todd Phillips. We always talk about sequels taking a step down. I could see Joker 2 go up.
Last night, the Joker 2 trailer came out. Obviously, this is a big shakeup for the race. Joker just came in with a damn steel chair.
The only way I can see Joker not being an Academy darling next February, next March, is just if Warner does not push it.
People will appreciate the swing that Todd Phillips is taking here. What is it about Anora? This is still my number one. What's not doing it for you?
I mean, to be completely honest, the trailer did not look very good.
I don't get when people don't have Joker. What about this movie is not convincing you that it's an awards player?
Reactions are probably all the time you're watching this, so I'm going on the implication that Joker, it's great, people love it.
This film was always going to be divisive, and I think this is a film that the industry is going to back. I just don't see how Joker's going to completely fall out of the race. We've both seen Joker at this point. You'll see our reactions to the film kind of reflected here in our predictions. Best cinematography, where I do have Joker still getting a nomination. Call me crazy and call me dumb. Call me crazy and call me dumb.
Different Man, makeup by Michael Marino, David Presto, and Crystal Gerardo. Dune Part 2, makeup by Eva Von Bar and Love Larson. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, makeup by Leslie Vandenwalt, Luca Vanella, Matteo Silvi, and Larry Van Dunhoven. In a Violent Nature, special effects makeup by Steven Kostansky.
Nosferatu, makeup by David White, Tracy Loader, and Susanna Stokes-Muden. Sasquatch Sunset, makeup by Steve Newbon, Yvonne Cox, and Sarah Blowstein.
The Substance, makeup by Pierre-Olivier Persin, Stéphanie Guillon, and Marilyn Scarcelli.
Wicked, makeup by Frances Hannon, Sarah Nuth, and Laura Blunt. Honora is a neon film. I don't believe in this at all. Sean Baker's never going to make an
Red
Oscar
Rocket.
movie. The only movie, as I mentioned before, that could maybe upset Dune would be that Robert Zemeckis Hero movie. I mean, Todd Phillips has a great case to win director. At minimum, Blitz is the safest Best Picture nominee this year. I don't see any chance for Demi Moore to get at the Oscars. I'm not looking at Dune as a sci-fi movie, because if that's the case, I think you need to remove its director nomination. You need to remove any chances in screenplay. Even on its worst day, I feel like Queer could be a Best Actor contender with an adapted screenplay. The funniest thing this award season could have is where I was so high on Room Next Door without seeing it, you were so high on Saturday Night without seeing it, and both these films flop entirely at the Oscars and get 0 nominations.
The Brutalist, edited by David Youngso.
Challengers, edited by Marco Costa. Conclave, edited by Nick Emerson. Dune Part 2, edited by Jill Walker.
Nickel Boys, edited by Nicholas Monsour.
Nosferatu, edited by Louise Ford. September 5, edited by Hans-Georg Westbrook.
Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, edited by Rick Chaubet. The Substance, edited by Jérôme Eltabé, Coralie Farja, and Valentin Ferron. Number 12, I have Honora from Neon. This could end up being that big contender that we've been waiting for from Sean Baker. Sean Baker's Honora was also very widely expected. It just feels like they are going to Cannes. This is by far one of the best films I've seen at the Cannes Film Festival. It is without a doubt that I say Honora is the best thing Sean Baker's ever made, post-Cannes. And I have a new Best Picture winner. Surprise, surprise, Honora shoots up to number 1. I got the same feeling walking out of this movie that I had walking out of Everything Everywhere All at Once a few years ago. It's exciting, it's risky, it's dangerous, and it's something the Academy would never go for before, which is why I feel like they're gonna go for it now. We're gonna jump right into Best Actress with my win pick, Mikey Madison in Honora. This is a bit of a bold call. I feel like a lot of people right now are going to be saying she's too young, but here's what I'm feeling. Her movie is going to win Best Picture. It's going to be a massive award sensation. Early on at the season, I think she might falter a little bit at the Golden Globes. I also expect her to win at BAFTA. I think SAG will break from Madison. It's going to go to one of the bigger names, someone who has narrative. I think Madison goes into the Oscars with a major critic sweep. She has BAFTA, and I think the overall strength of the movie is going to be what pushes her at the end. It doesn't matter that Mikey Madison is 25 years old. Brie Larson was 26 years old when she won her Oscar, and Room was not a top 5 Best Picture contender. Let's move over to supporting actor. I want to talk about Yuri Borisov. I am genuinely shocked. No one is talking about Yuri Borisov. If Honora is a big awards movie, which I'm presuming it is, he's the heart of this movie. It's possible that I'm being completely delusional and I'm the only one
who thinks that this guy is incredible. But I think as more people see the movie, he's going to get his credit. I really hope people start talking about this performance, and because no one else is, I'm going to be the one right now. I'm going to try and Clayton Davis my way into saying that this is going to be a thing until it either is a thing or it's not.
I know awards expert isn't the law, but you would be the only person predicting him on that website right now.
I am.
And Gold Derby's not open yet. You are the first. I hope that it works out for you. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't really comment, but it would be cool if you called this. You heard him here. He thinks Nora's going to sweep. Adria Arjona, blink twice.
And I did what I had to do to survive. That's how you win.
Monica Barbaro, a complete unknown.
Yes, and how many times can a man turn his head? Pretend that he just doesn't see.
Ariana Grande, Wicked. Carol Kane, Between the Temples.
Let's just, hop up there and sit down, okay? Get your tushy on there. I'll sit next to you, okay?
Do I know you?
I don't think so.
Satara Malecki, The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
تمام نمیشه مامان. همیشه همین بوده. همیشه جلوش کوتاه اومدی. هر چی خواسته بهش دادی. الانم اسلحه رو بگیری همونه.
Margaret Qualley, The Substance.
So smile! That's what we want tonight!
Masa Rostami, The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
توطئه چیه بابا؟ من اصلا چیکار به دشمن دارم، چیکار به اتحاد دنیا دارم؟ یه دختر جوون همسن من به خاطر حجابش کشته شده. آخه چرا؟
Zoe Saldana, Amelia Perez.
Abramos el corazón. Amemos a las mujeres, peleemos a los hombres, abracemos la miseria de la mala fe. La miseria.
Move over to another film that surprisingly entered the race recently, the Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown.
Searchlight, they work their magic as they always do. They get a director in the conversation, and it's James Mangold. Putting this in 2024 proves to me that they have zero confidence in A Real Pain, as what many of us have thought all season. I have taken Culkin out of my supporting actor lineup. I never wanted him in there anyway. I'm looking at the other Sundance film. I forgot what it's called. The one with the guy from Succession.
A Real Pain.
A Real Pain.
Yeah,
I don't believe in that at all.
It feels like people being like, well, I love Succession, and Kieran Culkin should be in an Oscar contender, so let's make it happen. I don't think that A Real Pain is a real thing whatsoever.
What do we do with A Real Pain? What do we do with Kieran Culkin? I feel like we've both been saying this all year long. Nothing. And it's time to everyone else to say nothing.
Culkin is the hallmark of TV actor gets Oscar buzz because of TV awards and then surprise, no Oscar. Supporting actor, we both have Clarence Macklin winning. Admittedly, I don't see who else could win. Meanwhile, we both have Kieran Culkin at number 6. It's gonna seem like we're rage baiting with this, but really, we just don't believe in A Real Pain. I've seen the movie now. Kieran Culkin doesn't feel like a nominee to me. Kieran Culkin is going to get almost all of the precursors, and I think he's gonna be the big surprise miss on Oscar morning, the same way that Charles Melton was last year. The Brutalist, production designed by Judy Becker. Conclave, production designed by Susie Davies.
Dune Part 2, production designed by Patrice Vermont.
Here, production designed by Ashley Lamont.
Late Night with the Devil, Production design by Othello Stoltov. Memoir of a Snail. Production design by Bob Shea. Nosferatu. Production design by Craig Lathrop.
The Substance. Production design by Stanislas Redele.
Wicked. Production design by Nathan Crowley.
I just talked with Arno, our international feature expert, and what he was saying is, Matt, you better not have All We Imagine Is Light in your top 5s, because if there's one thing you can count on, is that India is going to fuck up their selection. Screw you, Arno, I'm including it anyways. I'd probably replace it with something like I'm Still Here. Walter Salles is a legendary filmmaker. He is always a good bet. The next film I think is looking very strong is Walter Salles' film I'm Still Here, coming out of Brazil. This feels like the strongest contender that we're likely to see coming out of the Venice Film Festival. I'm going for I'm Still Here as my Sony Picture Classics contender. This feels like the film that's going to beat Emilia Perez in Best International Feature. Everything about it just feels like it's on track to just skyrocket right after Venice. Alien Romulus, Mark Patterson, Will Files, Lee Gilmore, and Tomas Shaba.
Challengers: Paul Carter, Craig Berkeley, Michelle Guadarini, Lisa Pinheiro. A Complete Unknown: Todd Maitland, Donald Sylvester, Ted Kaplan, Paul Massey, David Gianmarco. Dune Part 2: Gareth John, Richard King, Ron Bartlett, Doug Hempfield.
Flow, Gerwig Koik Galas. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Tom Holkenberg, Ben Osmo, Robert McKenzie, Jessica Meyer, James Ashton, and Julia Ackerholt. Nickel Boys, Daniel Timmons and Tony Vellante.
Wicked: Simon Hayes, Jack Dolman, Andy Nelson, John Marquez, Nancy Nugent.
Either The Substance gets snubbed or it wins. And I'm leaning right now towards a snub. People get so grossed out by the movie. I can't predict a horror movie. I have no idea what the hell people are talking about with The Substance right now. I love The Substance. Don't take this as me knocking it. It is like one of the most disgusting, depraved, demented fucking horror movies that has come out ever. The demographic of the Academy are gonna turn it off the second that Demi Moore falls to the floor in that bathroom and her spine splits open. They'll be gone. I gotta reiterate, I love The Substance. This is like, this is a top 5 movie of the year for me. I think it's fantastic. I do not see any world where the Academy goes out for a movie like this. People are leading themselves to a Lupita Nyong'o and Us level disappointment. This happens year after year where people pick a horror actress that is phenomenal, and genre bias is a very real thing that happens in the Academy. I don't see Demi Moore getting nominated no matter what happens. Alien Romulus, Eric Barba, Nelson Sepulveda, Daniel McCarran, and Shane Mahan. Better Man, Luke Millar, David Clayton, Keith Hurft, and Peter Stubbs.
Dune Part 2: Paul Lambert, Stephen James, Reese Salcombe, Gerf Nefsler.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Andy Williams, Dan Bethel, Andrew Jackson, and Eric Whip.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes: Erica Winquest, Stephen Umfraz, Paul Story, Rodney Burke.
Mufasa, The Lion King. Daniel Fotheringham, Adam Valdez, Barry St. John, and Audrey Ferrara.
The Substance: Brian Jones, Shevin Shengath, Pierre Oliver Persian, Gene Meal. we are both in the Sebastian stan for The Apprentice camp, I know that we are also two of the only people who are in Sebastian stan for The Apprentice camp. We'll either look really smart here in about a month's time when we get to some of these TV awards like Golden Globes, or we'll look really dumb because he won't even make a lineup of 6. Yeah, okay.
The Apprentice.
So we both went 5 of 6.
I
The nominees for best
fucking
performance by a female
told
actor
all
in
of
motion
you.
picture-
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
I will say this as someone who lives in America. People want to talk about Donald Trump, even if they say they don't want to. I can see him getting into SAG, Critics' Choice, Golden Globes. He probably won't make BAFTA. That's 3 out of 4. I would say Sebastian Stan would currently be stronger than someone like Daniel Craig.
You said this is going to miss BAFTA. I'm going to challenge that because I feel like this is going to do better outside of the US, simply because countries outside of the US love commenting on US politics. This is coming from a Canadian who last night I went out to a bar where the people at the table next to me were talking about they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. People like to dunk on the US. If anything, those American bodies might go, do we really want to do the Trump movie? I'm so tired of this. Who made the movie? It was the Canadians, it was the Brits, and it was the Danish. That to me says that international bodies might go further for Stan than anyone else.
Hugh
So
Grant,
we're going to finish this with Daniel Craig.
Sebastian
No, Daniel
Stan,
Craig.
The Apprentice.
Sebastian Stan!
The Brutalist. Cinematography by Lol Crawley.
Challengers. Cinematography by Syamto Muktibra. Dune Part 2. Cinematography by Greg Fraser.
Mufasa, The Lion King. Cinematography by James Laxton. Nickel Boys. Cinematography by Jomo Frey.
Nosferatu. Cinematography by Jaron Blaschke.
I can definitely see general audiences not particularly liking this film when it hits Netflix. Whether or not they like it, I don't think that matters whatsoever. This is going to dominate the discourse. Everyone will be talking about it, and any publicity is good publicity. People seem to either love it or hate it. The thing that binds those sides together is they can't shut the hell up about Emilia Perez.
Penis, 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 penis.
We're looking at how vacant Netflix's release schedule looks. They have money, they have visibility. Emilia Perez can play really well to middle-brow voters who want to make a statement.
People should consider Zoe Saldana.
Me?
She has the name recognition, she has the Netflix backing, and she has a role that could maybe be category fraud.
I do believe that Zoe Saldana being in the Best Supporting Actress category would be the most egregious category fraud of all time. I just can't see people falling for category fraud this major.
Zoe Saldana.
The review bombing this is going to get is going to be unlike anything we've ever seen in the Oscar race. This could be the first time ever that we see an Oscar nominee get a sub 5.0 rating on IMDb. People are going to be coming out in force, giving this low ratings. It will be a coordinated effort to review bomb the movie. It's going to be very easy in the next few months to really discount Emilia Perez. In our bubble, Letterboxd, adjacent, film Twitter, there's going to be a lot of negativity about Emilia Perez. And it's going to be very easy for people to write off the film and say, no one's going to vote for that. Everyone hates it. But that is not going to be the reality within the industry.
Yes.
Aggro Drift. Music by A-Ride Music.
The Brutalist. Music by Daniel Bloomberg.
Challengers. Music by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Conclave. Music by Volker Bertelmann.
Dune Part 2. Music by Hans Zimmer.
The Girl with the Needle. music by Frederic Hoffmeyer. Nickel Boys, music by Alex Summers and Scott Ilario.
I've seen people are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that.
I didn't know that that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
The fact that this is a first half of the musical, ending with
the lyrics of Defying Gravity.
This movie's shooting itself in the foot.
I didn't know that that was happening.
Wicked for me, a month ago, I would have said yes. Today, I'm not as strong as because of the
In
trailer.
a post-trailer world?
In a post-trailer world. The trailer didn't do anything for me, but if it's getting production, if it's getting costumes, if it's getting makeup, I'm not saying that makes it number 10 in picture, that makes it top 15. What I think it needs to become that number 10 player is it needs a Revo. If a Revo is an actress, I'll believe it.
Yeah, which I don't buy.
That's what I wanted.
If musicals are a thing in Best Picture, a lot of the time they come along with a sound nomination at Wicked Part 1. I think our musical slot is covered with Joker at Folie à Deux. I don't understand why you have Joker at 7 and Wicked at 2. We've seen the makeup from both of these.
I've seen it, yeah.
And I think both of us would say the Joker makeup looks just as good as the first one, whereas Wicked looks like shit.
I didn't know that.
If Wicked is a thing, Grande would be in that package with it.
Could Wicked be a thing now? I'd say no. Being a 2 hour and 40 minute long part 1 of a 2 hour and 15 minute total musical might make this feel as a whole unsatisfying and could lead to it underperforming both critically and commercially.
Really powerful.
Dylan, how about this? We'll swap waiver priorities and I'll throw in Wicked for whatever your worst movie is.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody, The Brutalist.
Did not realize these images were still available, much less of any consequence. May I keep these?
Timothy Chalamet, A Complete Unknown.
It was just the other day. I was bringing home my pay. And I met an old friend I used to know.
Timothy Chalamet, Dune Part 2.
They may be curious to hear my side of the story, don't you think? I am Paul Atreides, son of Leto Atreides, Duke of Arrakis.
David Dashelman, Late Night with the Devil.
Leo. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be right back after these messages.
Ralph Fiennes, Conclave.
Our faith is a living thing precisely because it walks hand in hand with doubt.
Hugh Grant, Heretic.
Can you imagine thousands of years from now people accepting Jar Jar as a significant religious figure?
Beg your pardon?
Jar Jar. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar. Excuse me.
Joaquin Phoenix, Joker Folie à Deux.
You're the same guy you'd fall in love with. I'm the same guy that murdered Marie Franklin.
Glenn Powell, Hitman.
Wait, who's accusing me of this? This is bullshit, and you out of all people should know that I was incapable of this.
Okay, then who did? What the hell happened?
Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice.
The world is a mess, Tony. You have to fight back. You have to have a tough skin. Attack, attack, attack. If somebody comes after you with a knife, you shoot him back with a bazooka.
Lily Rose Depp, Nosferatu.
You never listen! Well, where is it? Your money, your promotion, your house? Where is that which is so precious to you?
Cynthia Erivo, Wicked.
And since
folks here to an absurd degree seem fixated on your verdigris. Would it be alright by you?
Juliet Garapi, Red Blooms.
Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Hard Truths.
And her over there with that fat baby. Cold, 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 and she's walking up and down the street with nothing but a big pink bow on its bald head so everybody can tell it's a girl, like our care.
Nicole Kidman, Baby Girl.
I think the opposite.
You think I don't like power?
No, I think you like to be told what to do.
Mikey Madison, Honora.
I said it's because your son's a fucking pussy.
So, poszli.
And you are a disgusting hooker.
And your son hates you so much he married one to piss you off.
Naomi Scott, Smile 2.
I wish you could feel what it's like having to live inside my head.
Zendaya, Challengers.
How fucking dare you? Jesus Christ. You want my best piece of advice for you? You want me to coach you? Okay, quit.
Mike Cheslick, Hundreds of Beavers.
Robert Eggers, Nosferatu. Corley Farja, The Substance. Luca Guadagnino, Challengers.
Mohammad Rasulov, The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Ramel Ross, Nickel Boys.
Denis Villeneuve, Dune Part 2.
We're almost at the end of the video, just one category left. And before we get to that final category, because I've been looking back through all of this old footage, I got curious and wanted to know who is the better predictor between Dylan and I. So I tallied everything up through the early months from March all the way up until October or so. I was a little bit better at those early predictions, but when we look at the final predictions, Dylan beats me there. And when we look at the final win predictions, Dylan wins 3-2. I ended up taking the Golden Globes and the BAFTA, while Dylan took the Critics' Choice, SAG, and the Oscars. So I think it's fair to say Dylan wins this season, but don't feel too safe, Dylan. I'm coming for you next year. Anyways, though, let's get right back in to Best Picture. Honora. The Brutalist.
Challengers. Conclave.
Dune Part 2.
Below.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Hundreds of Beavers.
Late Night with the Devil.
Nickel Boys.
Nosferatu.
The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
September 5. Sing Sing. Smile 2.
Soundtrack to a coup d'etat. The Substance.
Wicked.
And that's it. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for joining us for this long season and this very long and elaborate video. But if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of this channel. This past year has been an amazing year of growth for us. And here's to another one up ahead. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. My name's Matt, and this has been Fantasy Filmball.